Greetings and salutations everyone, I'm Mac. This is Let's Play Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky. In the last episode, well, we've gotten Tita back. We met the Professor R, finally. He's a crazy professor, because of course he is. Mad science has to show up somewhere. And the Black Orbment seems to be some sort of Orbment jammer? Orbment blackout system? I'm not entirely sure how to do it, but there is one other thing I'd like to bring up. Apparently, one of these recipes that we picked up recently, I think maybe orange ice cream or something, apparently one of the things we picked up over the last chapter is actually cost positive. So even with all the ingredients you have to spend to buy it, basically you buy the ingredients, you make it, you sell it, you have a money profit. So the more times you do this, the better off you are, and eventually you will be able to just make 999 every time and to make a humongous fortune. I might actually consider doing that simply to get my hands on the equipment, but probably a thing for later. For now, we have the guild. Good morning. That was some day yesterday, wasn't it? When you're ready, we'd like your full report on it. Isn't this as usual, Kalika? I've heard the basics from the factory chief already, but I'd like to expand that account with some first-hand details. Well, Joshua explained the details of the Orbal blackout. I see. So the orbment that was sent to Cassius in secret was in fact something dangerous. The guild is very interested in these developments. We need to continue working with Professor Russell for the present. We thought you'd say that. When we have more information, we'll contact you immediately. So, are there new quests here? Really? There aren't? Once your main quest wants to send you out of the city, check for side quests. Okay, so we've still got a bit of work to do, but hopefully we aren't going to miss our chance with the Treader Plains monster. Actually, where even would the Treader Plains be? I guess in the direction of Wolf Fort? Oh, why? I actually never stopped to consider just how far we've come across our journey. We started in Roland. We've busted our way through Bose, and then the Crone Pass, all the way to Rouen, and then we've dug through the Limestone Cave all the way to Zace. And then we've got Grancel over there. The end of the game is actually in sight. Granted, if the chapter is anything like the previous ones, we've still got about 20 more episodes to go before we make it to Grancel. Hey! Hey, long time no see! Hey, it has been a while. Who's this? You remember that kid who was looking for the quartz shard in Roland, don't you? Wow, that's... Oof, that's a very long Chekhov's gun, isn't it? Remember, we took a request to find it a while back. Are you headed back to the Republic? Nah, Central Factory. We made some cash in Grancel this weekend and have some shopping to do. Mum said we're going to take this mirror and stock up on orbments. They say the eyes are the first to go, but she can still spot a good deal. I can see you're still an obnoxious brat. Well, I'm only saying what everybody else is thinking. Yeah, did you check out those crazy moving stairs? I'll never get tired of them. I've already forgotten what I was supposed to be doing, honestly. Let's try going to pester the chief just in case. His room... Actually, maybe the secretary would know. Yeah, let's burn their electricity bill on the elevator. Tita, everyone, how are you? Professor Russell is in his workshop on the 3rd floor. He seemed pretty impatient, like he was waiting on something. Or someone. I mean, she did just tell us where to go, but I kind of want to see if I can... Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mr. Murdoch. Good morning, sir. What a day yesterday was. We've been getting complaints from citizens all morning. Wow, that's rough. It's not like it was your fault or anything. We're very sorry, sir. We didn't mean to cause... No, don't apologize. These kind of things happen when you're doing science. It happens a little bit more around Professor Russell's science, though. Speaking of the Professor, has he come in already? Oh yes, he came in very early this morning, all fired up about something. He probably needs some assistance, so go up to his workshop and see him. It's on the 3rd floor. The 3rd floor. Let's go then. I've got a bad feeling about this. By the way, Tita. Sir? Please don't get the Professor too excited. If we have a repeat of yesterday, we won't be able to do anything for a while. I understand, sir. I'll be careful. The door is locked. It's kind of funny, this guy is considered to be the mayor of this city, but when you think about it, he doesn't have the big fancy mansions that the other mayors did. I guess it keeps him humble. Although he probably deserves a big fancy mansion if he has to deal with the Professor on a daily basis. Ah, another failure! Are you trying to cut our Orbment in half? I mean, it was established that it's indestructible mainly, but yeah. Grandpa, we came to see if we could help. Ah, hello, Tita. You two are here as well, I see. What can I say? We were worried. What are you working on? Well, as you can see, I'm trying to cut into the black Orbment. It hasn't been going very well. What seems to be the problem? Perhaps a demonstration is in order. And click! You know you're supposed to wear goggles when you use buzzsaws like that, right? What's that thing? It's a circular saw. It's made out of a special alloy that can cut through basically anything. That ought to do it then. It stopped! I thought that might happen. It's on a smaller scale, but it's the same phenomenon as yesterday, so it really doesn't like people trying to get inside. Seems like the black Orbment is blocking the functionality of other Orbments, interfering with them in some way. So what would the purpose of that be? Would it be so you can have basically have an anti-Orbment on hand at all times? Or is it holding something special inside of it? I doubt it was solely made for the purpose of killing the lights. Yeah. But Grandpa, doesn't the effect spread like it did yesterday? Yes, good thinking. This interference with nearby Orbments seems to spread out, moving from the Orbment to Orbment, like change in lightning. I'd put the range at about 5 Arcade. But if there are no Orbments powered on within that range, well, that's where the effect stops. I see, that makes sense. However, even with that knowledge, there's no way to know why it causes machines to simply stop without getting a look inside it. It's very troubling. Is there a way to destroy the thing? Maybe with a good scream and a really hard whack? Don't be ridiculous. Didn't you see the big sword do exactly nothing to it just a moment ago? Well, yeah, but to be fair, that was because it disabled the saw. Anyone thought of trying fire? Maybe it'd melt down in a blast furnace or something. If we did that, the insides of it would melt too. Oh yeah, well, it was worth a shot. Estelle's so focused on just beating this Orbment that she didn't think about what a pirate victory it would be. Actually, it might work. Really? Do you know a way to burn it open? No, that's not what I meant. Orbal power, that which drives Orbments to work, can't be used for this problem. We'll have to find a way that doesn't rely on any Orbal energy. Is there even such a thing? The combustion engine. It's a device that burns fuel to generate energy. The idea's been around for a long time, but it's very inefficient when compared with a normal engine. Also, it might be turned into a nuclear bomb. However, all you need to do to work them are standard tools. Huh, neat. I get it. Fire is the key. But Grandpa, I've never even seen one of them. I'm pretty sure there's one under study in the central factory workshop. Oh, you'll need to get fuel as well. Like oil or something? No, it's called gasoline. It's extremely flammable. Okay, so not a nuclear bomb then. There's likely a tank or canister of it stored in reserve. Yes, it should do the job. I'll start getting the tools ready! I'll help. Is there anything we can do? I mean, I can't do anything super technical like Tita can. Well, you could go and get the engine in gasoline. It's going to be heavy, but your braces should be strong enough to move it. Okay, leave it to us. So, where would we find these? Let's see. Don't tell me you've forgotten. I've forgotten. You just said not to say that! Estelle, if you look in the operations room, you can probably find them. What the hell is an operations room? It's a room with a bunch of orbital computers. It's on the 5th floor. I think we checked that out yesterday and that's where you were. We store all kinds of information there for safekeeping. Wow, I didn't even know there was such a place. I leave it in your capable hands. Making coffee, fetching stuff. Well played, old man. Well played. Oh well, let's go find this operations room thingy. To the 5th floor then. Darn it, they took her out of my party. Well, at least they aren't taking her equipment away. Anyway, 5th floor. This is the 3rd floor. Remember, walking everywhere is good for you. Well, we have our test units ready. We're just waiting for the testers. Looks like I need to adjust the insoles a little bit. Wait, are you going to ask someone to test out those shoes? That sounds like an Estelle sort of job. Terry, you know the proposal deadline for next term's thesis is coming up, right? What should I do? Got any brainstorms for me? Sorry, I'm pretty busy right now. Come up with something on your own. Oh, I see. The reason she picked up the book on talking to cats is because she wants to talk to her cat. It would seem yesterday was quite stressful for everyone. Things here were mostly like usual, but everyone else was rushing about until all hours. When I came in this morning, I found Antoine asleep on the bed. Poor little dear was exhausted. Antoine? Why, that's the cat's name! Antoine has been living in the central factory for quite some time now. We did see her hanging around the airport yesterday. He doesn't have an owner and tends to be cared for by anyone who feels the urge. So he's kind of like everybody's cat. I suppose you could say that. Though I'm sure Antoine has a little desire to be formally owned by any one person. Do be friendly to him if you see him around the factory. Of course! Now I've introduced you to Antoine, I believe it's time for me to return to work. Didn't you have something you need to do yourselves? We were on our way to operations, yes? There's something we need to check up on out there. Operations? I hope it's alright to go up there. They've been in the middle of recalibrating. Is there some kind of problem? No, operations is just a lot of delicate machinery that needs a lot of attention. Go see for yourself. Are you sure it's alright? It doesn't sound alright. We have to go anyway, so worrying will do little good. Yeah, true enough. See you, Doctor. Thank you for your help. Goodbye. Wow, Miriam actually had quite the conversation there. Did you forget something? I think your only option right now is to go to operations. Quite the little quite the little conversation there for something that could be very easily missed. But also, what was Antoine saying to us? Alright, this is outside. Wow, check out this place. This has to be the operations room. Hey, you two! I haven't seen you before, so do you mind telling me what business you have in here? My name's Travis, Senior Engineer and Supervisor. Nice to meet you. We're with the Bracer Guild. We're here at the request of Professor Russell, so if... Professor Russell?! He's not in trouble again, is he? Again? You really don't have much faith in him, do you? No, I mean, I realize that he's a genius. He was the one who developed the capital unit after all. But even being acquainted with him results in no end of trouble. Tita, on the other hand, is an incredibly sweet girl, just an all-around good kid. Yeah, I get what you mean. But I don't think we have time to stand around talking in this case. We need to find where the central factory stores its equipment. Oh, is that what this is all about? In that case, go right ahead. I'll show you how it works. What if the Black Orbment hijacked this supercomputer? That would be kind of bad. This cylindrical device is a type of computer, it's called the Capel. These days, they mostly get used to assist in airship navigation. But this one is equipped for the fastest general-purpose data processing in the world. So it's Bombay. It can be used for anything from calculating material density to information retrieval. Now for information retrieval, you have to use this front panel to select that mode. That will send the signal through the wiring and allow you to access the memory orbit. There's a quartz inside that trains a rapid light pulse on it, you see? Then it simply extracts the data you want. So I trust you know how it works now? No sweat. Yep, no sweat. I'm impressed, Estelle. You're way better with modern technology than I am. Okay, so I lied. All that stuff went completely over my head. Well, here's the setup. You change the mode with this panel, and I'm sure you'll figure it out in no time. Mobile Calculator, Capel System version 7.0. Copyright ZCF 1997 to 1202. Mode, information retrieval. Memory check, OK. Database access, please input search term. Central factory. Related topics? Oh, here we go. Haulage vehicle. Any wheeled vehicle powered by orbital energy, widely considered uncomfortable to ride and very limited in speed. Primarily used for transporting cargo. Owner no data, repository underground factory entrance. A liquid derived from the purification of naturally occurring hydrocarbon compound known as petroleum, used as primarily as fuel for combustion engines and as an industrial solvent. Emergency stores, 20 mid-sized tanks, repository, Orbment manufacturing factory. A machine which generates usable energy by burning fuel, less efficient than its orbital counterpart due to issues with gaseous exhaust and noise pollution. We only have one though, and it belongs to Chief Gustav. Oh wow, we could look up anything and everything. General term for device that draws orbital energy from septium, invented 50 years ago by Professor Epstein. The clockwork mechanism inside causes a reaction between quartz, which in turn produces a great variety of different phenomena. Their greatest advantages over combustion engines is that orbital energy with them is gradually restored over time, and the variety of different phenomena they can produce. They are also much more economically efficient. So basically, magic beats gas tech any day of the week, darn. Crystal circuit, an electrical circuit within a crystal structure made from processed septium fragments. They serve as an energy source, but also cause varied phenomena, which are only seen when they are placed inside an orbment. A group of 7 gemstones found throughout the continent. Prized as jewels for aeons, it was also regarded as a symbol of mystery. The invention of orbital technology to refine and produce septium fragments too small to use as jewels, called sepith, and make them into quartz resulted in a massive increase in the importance of septium as a resource across the continent. So there's only 7 types. Commonly regarded as the crowning achievement of Orbment technology, enables the power of flight by combining a flight engine to control gravity and an orbital engine to produce vast amounts of energy. Because of the need for high-efficiency orbital energy transfer and the complexity of controlling the airship, many modern orbital ships are equipped with high-capable orbital arithmetic logic units. orbital ships less than 20 Arge in length are simply called airships. So they actually work on anti-gravity rather than just being propulsion and aerodynamics. In other words, magic makes your scientists lazy. Any firearm or cannon powered with Orbment technology. Currently the most common form of military weaponry among many nations. With orbital firearms, energy is focused in a helical path along the barrel down to a tiny point which then forces a large metal projectile outward at a high velocity. These guns fire more rounds than traditional gunpowder arms, and at adjustable levels of force. Orbital cannons, meanwhile, fire shells containing energy which explode on impact. Similar to orbital guns, these have less recoil than gunpowder using cannons, and their power can be similarly adjusted. Orbment's used to manipulate orbital magics, usually no larger than a pocket watch, so its internal workings are extremely minute and elegantly constructed. When quartz designed for tactical Orbment use is installed, it improves the ability of its bearer. Is that the thing that we are always using? Tactical Orbments. Quartz designed for tactical Orbment use is installed. It does increase our it wasn't done. When this quartz synchronizes with the bearer, aka the resonance phenomenon, the internal mechanisms take over the otherwise complex process that would be required to use magic, allowing just about anyone to use it in the form of orbital arts. Furthermore, the arts of the user it is able to use can be changed depending on the combination of quartz inside. Wow. Septium Calendar. Death of Professor Epstein in the sovereign state of Lemon. Oh, he's dead. Professor Russell returns to the Liberal Kingdom. He proposes the spread of Orbment technology to a chilly reception. 2 years after that, he forms a partnership with the Zeiss Clockmakers Union. Together they re-establish the Zeiss Engineering Factory, later renamed the Central Factory. Edgar III, after an inspection of the factory, donates a large amount of money to further its research. Professor Russell becomes the first factory chief. Edgar III died 2 years later and Alicia II assumed the throne. 2 years after that, construction is completed on the Langland Bridge. 68, the first orbital-powered airship, the Calatrava, is completed. 39 failed test flights before success was achieved. Ooh, I don't know how much that compares to actual airships. 5 years after that, the Zeiss Engineering Factory is renamed Zeiss Central Factory and begins sharing technology with the Verne Company and Reinford Company. The Liberal Orbital Ship Corporation is established 2 years after that, and the transit commuter airship the Linde is commissioned. The Linde, that was the one that vanished, wasn't it? 2 years after that, transit commuter airship the Cecilia is commissioned. 1 year later, factory airship the Leibniz is completed. 2 years after, the Zeiss Central Factory is dismantled and reconstructed as its current site. The partially underground factory in the Chaldean Hills is completed. 2 years later, Professor Russell resigns from his position as factory chief and is succeeded by Murdoch. 3 years later, natural science and medical research divisions are founded. 2 years after, the passenger airship Turner sinks in Calvard waters. Crown Prince Judas died. Crown Prince Judas died? What's the current date? Ugh. The Orbital Network, a joint venture with Epstein Foundation, is publicly announced. 2 years after the outbreak of the 100 Days War, the Central Factory is taken by the Erebonian Army. Professor Russell develops air patrol airships at Leiston Fortress. Okay, so they weren't developed here, which are used to mount a highly effective counteroffensive and soon become central to the Royal Army. Liberal and Erebonia sign a peace accord. Orbment exports to the Erebonian Empire resume. Version 1.0 of the Capel Orbital supercomputer is completed. 2 years, development commences on the high-speed cruiser Arsail. The Arsail is completed and flight tests commence. Oh dear, I wanted to quickly skip through this, but apparently this doesn't come out quickly. The Linde. Makes you wonder why Russell resigned when he probably had the ability to just shoo away all the people complaining about his experiments, but I guess he wanted to get away from all the paperwork and just focus on the experiments. Looks like you found what you were looking for. Wow, it's like a magic box or something. Mobile computers are really something. As I understand it, Professor Russell's teacher, Professor Epstein, was responsible for the original concept. But it was Professor Russell's talent that made an idea into reality. If only his presence of mind were on par with his intelligence. Well, Ideos isn't one to bestow two blessings on one person. By the way, where can we find the guy who last had one of those combustion engine thingies? The maintenance chief, right? Where is he? He's currently overseeing the airfield. You'll have to go there to speak to him. Also, the gasoline is likely in Orbment manufacturing in the basement. Talk to the staff there. I'm sure they'll be happy to get it for you. Maintenance Chief Gustav is down at the airfield working on a combustion engine, and the gasoline is in the basement. Thanks, you've been a big help. Think nothing of it. Let me know if you need anything else. Yeah, the Linde was the one that we thought Cassius went missing on and got stolen by Sky Bandits. So that's actually a decently old airship. Honestly, this is probably a time where we can justify using the elevator. Okay, so she didn't give back the quartz, so presumably we aren't going to get into any sort of fights. Oh wait, no, this is Chaldia Tunnel. We need to go to a different part. What kind of guy is he? I tried asking your friends, but they didn't tell me much. I can't concentrate. I know I've got to impress her with my hard work, but I can't stop thinking about Faye and her ex. I just can't keep working. Okay, weird interjection. This door is locked as well. Great. Excuse me. What's that? May I help you? Estelle and Joshua explained the task set to them by Professor Russell. You need gasoline. I think we had a tank of it back in storage somewhere. I'll check for you. Faye used the intercom. This is Faye. Got a request down here. You still have that tank of Calvard gasoline there in the warehouse, right? Can you send some down? Yeah, enough to carry. Thanks. I'm sending some down for you right now. Sending. Holy. There we are. Is this gasoline? So that's what sending is. Neat, isn't it? This conveyor belt system isn't just for ordering goods. It's an entire network that connects the whole facility. Convenient. Professor Russell invented it. Originally it was just a series of tubes for sending products back and forth, but the professor completely rebuilt the system into something a lot more useful. Of course, getting all the infrastructure in place was a gigantic pain in the... I can only imagine. We have to be on our way. Thank you for your help. No problem. I don't know what you're using it for, but be careful with the gasoline. It has a tendency to fireball. Obtain gasoline tank. I guess Estelle isn't going to get to do her fire breathing trick. Yeah, I guess going to the airfield is something we'll tackle next time. Until then, guys, take care. We'll see you all around. Our dream is to have at least one store of our own someday. I'd love to have a warm little store like the Bell Station. That's my brother over there selling drinks. Our dream is to make enough money to open our own store.